We've received quite a bit of interest in my free to be workshop, so to that effect, beneath this video is a link that will give you a description for the workshop, and we've also included a special discount. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would invite you to click that link, and I hope that you would find the course to be quite beneficial. Let's begin our talk today with a simple factoid, and that is each person is unique. That doesn't take a genius to figure that out, does it? Every one of us has our own unique combinations of strengths and weaknesses, skills, interests, beliefs, personal history, family systems that we draw from, friendships, social stimulations, interpretations, emotional reactions. We all have this conglomeration of many, many different experiences that goes into the making of you being your own unique you. No one's going to exactly duplicate who you are. How about that? That's a really positive thing. Now, this sets up a fixed reality, and that is accepting each other as we are is essential if relationships are going to have any kind of success. You know, the bottom line is we can't force one another into a complete mold. Each person is a mold unto themselves. And so accepting each other with our many unique kinds of characteristics is just going to be a part of healthy relations. Now, I want you to think, how common or how skilled might a narcissist be in showing acceptance toward you, just for what you are? Now, interestingly, if you were to ask these individuals just in a theoretical basis, are you a really accepting person? Most of them would probably say, oh, yeah, I accept folks for just what they are. Just look at my track record. That's just what I do. And yet, when it comes down to the real deep personal connections with them, basically, you find that that's not, in fact, true at all. In reality, narcissists have this notion that says, I require you to fit my mold. And if you stray too far from my mold, there's going to be a price to pay. And so you eventually learn that if you err or differ too much, you'll be judged. Or if you are too out of their box, you'll be shunned. If you have opinions that are not the same as theirs, there's going to be arguments that can go on and on. Stubbornness kicks in. As you have interpretations that are not the same, then there's going to be an invalidation that you received. And then in the end, these individuals are going to be very defensive with you as you say, but this is just me. This is who I am. And the bottom line is they simply cannot accept you for what they are, no matter what they might say to the contrary. Now, I've pinpointed 8 different reasons that narcissists have great difficulty accepting you or me just for what we are. And let's see if we can go through these and see if these resonate in your world. Now, first and foremost, number 1 reason is, let's keep in mind, narcissists are not seeking a relationship with you. When we say that for relationships to be successful, we have to have acceptance. Let's keep in mind, narcissists don't want to relate. They're in a competition with you. And it's important for you to recognize that. Narcissists, as they engage with others, eventually think in terms of win versus lose, high versus low. The one who gets to call the shots versus the one who's not. And so for them to show acceptance of you implies that they honestly want to be in a relationship, but they don't understand the basics of what a relationship is. Reason number 2 is narcissists are deeply invested in black and white thinking. If they have to accept you for what you are, they're going to have to learn how to think in gray. And the gray is just not something that they like. In fact, they think in their black and white thinking, one of us is right, one of us is not right. And guess who's correct? And so they have this childlike sense that says, well, whenever I say something, that it just has to be my way. And if you don't agree with me, I'm going to pick up my marbles and go somewhere else. Their black and white thinking sets them up to be illogical with you. They can't accept the fact that perhaps there are different ways to look at various kinds of scenarios. A third reason narcissists cannot accept you, and that is blame and accusation is first nature to these people. And so if there's a difference, or if you have any kind of notion that says, I'm just not on the same page as you, then their natural inclination is to think, so what's wrong with you? Who told you this? And let me explain to you why this makes you a bad person. And they go into the accusing, blaming kind of mode. Has that ever happened as you engage with the narcissist in your life? A fourth reason that these narcissists cannot accept you for what you are, and that is, to be an accepting person requires an investment of curiosity. Have you ever thought about it that way? It's not like I'm willing to see what's different about you. I actually am eager to know what's different about you. I'm curious about you. Who are you, and what is your backstory, and how did you arrive at the conclusions you have? And they honestly want to know, and they're not listening for the reason of then coming back and explaining to you in that blaming and accusing way why you're wrong. They're honestly curious. Narcissists can't be that way. They don't think like that. A fifth reason that they cannot accept you for what you are is if they show acceptance, it would send, in their mind, the wrong message of equality. And so if I say, well, I'll accept you for what you are, the implication is, you and I, we're different, but we're equal at the same time. And in their mind, you're not equal to them. They're better than you. And they don't want you to think that there's validity to different kinds of perspectives. Again, we go back to life as a competition to them, and they don't want you to know or think in any way that you're their equal. A sixth reason they can't accept you, acceptance requires a certain amount of flexibility. Now, narcissists, by definition, must be in control, and so flexibility is a very non-control style of thinking and engaging. And so in their control, they operate with this rigid agenda. Here's how things have to be. And it just naturally sets up conditional, if we even want to call it acceptance, but a highly conditional structure in the way that you engage with them. A seventh reason they can't accept you is they've got to be superior. And that means that you're going to be in the inferior position. And so rather than thinking, well, we all have our highs and lows. You have yours, I have mine. It's like, I'm better than you, and you should accept me for what I am, because look at how good I am. But you're just a poor idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't look at life the right kind of way. They have to maintain their superiority because it's their compensation for so much of the turmoil that's churning on the inside of them that they've not come to terms with. And then an eighth reason they can't accept you, and that is they have no conception of authenticity. You see, in order to have acceptance, what it means is each person in the relationship would come out and say, here's who I am, lumps, bumps, bruises, and all, pluses, minus. I want you to see my genuine me. Narcissist is like, what's that all about? I can't do that. I don't want to do that. They're not authentic, and their lack of authenticity inhibits them from appreciating the fact that you would be your authentic self. Now, when you're engaging with these kinds of people, it's going to have, obviously, an impact on you. Over time, no matter how strong you are from the inside out, it wears you down. It can wear down your sense of confidence and your self-esteem. Then sometimes you can become unnecessarily defensive as you begin looking at these people saying, what's the deal with you anyway? Why do you have to treat me this way? And then you can respond with anger. And then you know what they're going to think? See, this is why I can't accept you for what you are. You're just a train wreck. And so you can't really allow that to happen. Now I want to ask you a question, and it's kind of, the answer to the question is going to be a sad one. Do you really need to be accepted by the narcissist? And you know the answer. I don't have to. Let's understand that when you're engaging with these people, they want you to be their enabler. They want you to be a flunky. They want you to be a tool to be used. They want you as their supply. They want you to be a flying monkey. They want you to be a yes person. They want you to be beholden to them. They want you to be glad to be in their club. They want you to feel indebted. They want you to be dependent. They want you to be deferential. They want you to be weak. They want you to be in doubt. They like it when you are subordinate. And then when you look at it from that angle, I'm hoping that you can conclude, it's okay for me to be me because I don't want to be all that they're wanting me to be. The narcissist is thinking the only acceptable person in the room is me. Wouldn't you know that? And you're just going to be unacceptable from the very beginning. So understand what you're dealing with. Recognize that these people are not predisposed to show acceptance. And rather than thinking, well, I've got to make it happen. Well, no, you don't. I'm hoping that you can have an acceptance of who you are, and there can be a sense that says, well, I do give me permission to be my unique combination of all those different things that I mentioned earlier. And then when the narcissist comes along and says, well, that's not good enough, then my response to that is going to be, you may have any interpretation of me that you wish. You can think of me in any way you want, but the fact is, I still accept myself. And I don't require you to have to go along with me in order for that to become my truth. I hope you can think that way. Now, I do hope that you get good insight from videos such as this. If you've not already done so, I would encourage you to go beneath and hit that subscribe button. We'll keep more videos coming your way. It could be that you could use some counseling as you're trying to sift out how to deal with these kind of individuals. And all through my career, obviously people have been referred to me, and I refer many people out to other individuals. And if there is the need for counseling, I would encourage you to make use of that. If you don't have somebody in your near area, then we've vetted a group that can provide online counseling. And right now, that's a very popular way to go. And so there's a link below here that you could get online counseling if that's something that you would find useful. In addition, we have links to our library that has my books. We have video workshops and coffee mugs and things of that nature. Oh, we also have our websites, survivingnarcissism.tv, drlescarter.com. Narcissists don't understand the concept of acceptance. I'm hoping that's something that you can hone in on, and you can have an acceptance of who you are. And if they come along and say, that doesn't work for me, it's like, okay. In the meantime, I'm going to move forward with my sense of dignity intact, my self-respect intact, and I'm hoping that you, despite their proclamations, can be a person of peace.